Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we are going to understand tumbling window trigger in Azure Data Factory. Tumbling window trigger is one of the important topic from my interview perspective. You may get one question regarding tumbling window trigger in an interview. What is a tumbling window trigger? How tumbling window trigger works? What is the difference between the tumbling window trigger and the schedule trigger? This kind of the common scenario generally you will see in an interview. So in this particular video, we will understand tumbling window trigger in depth, and also we have one project. So based on the tumbling window trigger use case, we will do a one project also. Let's first understand how tumbling window trigger works. So tumbling window trigger is a type of trigger that used to schedule the execution of pipeline based on the predefined time interval. What does it mean is like, so suppose you have one pipeline. Now this particular pipeline you have to run for the specific time interval, like you have to run for every hour, every minute. Then with the help of the tumbling window trigger, you can run this pipeline. Now you may have a question like, the same thing you can achieve with the help of the schedule trigger also, like every hour you can schedule and every hour the pipeline will run. Now the same thing we are saying for the tumbling window trigger also, based on each interval we can run the pipeline. Then what is the difference between the schedule trigger and the tumbling window trigger? The difference is like, whenever you have to run the data for the historical backfill data, if you have to run the pipeline, then tumbling window trigger will only help, because schedule trigger, in a schedule trigger, only for the present data or future data you can run the pipeline. But for the historical data, if you have to run the pipeline, you can use a tumbling window trigger. I hope you got the idea, like what is the difference between the schedule trigger and the tumbling window trigger. Now how tumbling window trigger works is like suppose you have to run the pipeline from the 1st of March to the 6th of March. On every 24 hour or every day you have to run this pipeline. Now what actually it will do, it will try to divide your execution into a window, like 1st of March to the 2nd of March, one window; 2nd of March to the 3rd of March, second window; 3rd of March to the 4th of March, third window; 4th of March to the 5th of March, four window; 5th of March to the 6th of March, five window. So based on this particular window size, it will try to run your pipeline. So the pipeline will run for the 5 time, like 1st of March to the 2nd of March, the 24 hours it will run the pipeline, and the second time it will run from the 24 hours interval, 2nd of March to the 3rd of March, because we have given the 24 hours interval. So like that, actually try to divide your run into kind of the window size. That's why we call it as a tumbling window trigger. Now let me show you how actually tumbling window trigger we can use in a Azure Data Factory. So come to this Data Factory. You can see we have a trigger, right? Click on the trigger, go to the new edit, click on the new, and here you will get option schedule tumbling window. So this tumbling window you can use, and the start date and the end date you can select from here, and based on the every minute, hour or month you can schedule your pipeline. So that is how tumbling window trigger we can use. Now let's do one practical, and now let us understand the business requirement. So we have a data that is available in a SQL database. We have to copy the data into the blob storage as a CSV file. So we have a data in a SQL database, and we have to copy data into the blob storage as a CSV file. So that is the requirement, and every 24-hour data should be available in a one CSV file in a blob storage. So that is the requirement. Now what happened, we had to first backfill the data for the previous day, like from 1st of March to the 6th of March data you had to backfill, because that data was not available. The historical data you had to backfill. So we need to run the pipeline from the 1st of March to the 6th of March. That is nothing but a historical data for us. That data you had to backfill. So how actually we can do a backfill? That is the scenario here. So whenever you have to backfill the data for the specific time period, then we use a tumbling window trigger, right? So what in this video, what we will do, we will create one pipeline which will copy a data from SQL database to the blob storage, correct? And we have to backfill the data from a 1st of March to the 6th of March. That is the requirement we will do. So in the tumbling window trigger, we will select the 24 hours time interval, and from 1st of March to the 6th of March, we will try to run the pipeline. Now first let me show you the data. So I created one SQL database. Once you'll create a SQL database, you have to come to the query editor and you have to log in. What we will do, we will create one table, customer sales table I have created, and I have inserted the value. This command I will send you so that also you can create that. Now if I will show you my table, this is the customer sales table I have created. We have a product ID, product type, sales price, sales time. In real time also you will get to see this kind of the data is available in a table. Like the sales time is in a timestamp. Like on sales happen on which particular time, that sales time is telling me. Now what actually we are doing, we are copying our data every 24 hours in a CSV file in a blob storage. Now suppose if I will run this particular command, so it will give me only for the 1st of March data. So what I have selected, where sales time between the 1st of March is starting to the 2nd of March is starting, not ending. Okay, so it if I'll run this, then I will get only the 1st of March how many sales happened. Correct. Now in our case we had to backfill the data from 1st of March to the 6th of March, right? And every window, so we will be having a start time and we will be having a end time. Correct. So what actually I have done, I have created one store procedures, select star from customer side where sales date between the start date and end date. So what I have done, I have created one store procedure. I have parameterized this start date and end date, and what I am doing, select star from table where sales date between the start date and end date. So if we will run this particular store procedure for the 2nd of March to the 3rd of March starting, you should get a 2nd March of data. You can see the 2nd of March of data you are getting. If I will change it to the 3rd, if I'll execute the 3rd of March of data, I should get. You can see 3rd of March data I am getting. So like this, if you had to pass start date and date, for that I have created a store procedure. So this is our source. Now what we had to do, we had to copy from 1st of March to the 6th of March each date data into the blob storage as a CSV file. So we will use this procedure and we will pass the start date and end date in Azure Data Factory itself for the each 24 hours interval with the help of the tumbling window. So that is the requirement we will do. I have also created a storage account. Here I have created one container. As of now in container no file is available. Okay. Now I'll go to the data factory. Now let's do a practical. Once you'll come to the data factory, we had to create a pipeline. So click on the pipeline, click on the new pipeline, and what we are doing, we are going to create a copy data, right? So I'll click on the copy data. We will create a source. What is our source? For that we will create a data set. Source is the SQL database, right? So I will select the Azure SQL database. You can see Azure SQL database. Continue. Link service we will create. We will pass the subscription. We will pass the server name. We will pass the database name, and we will pass the username and the password. So these all the things you will get when you will create a database, Azure SQL database. After that, click on the create, and as of now we will not select any table here, and we'll click on the OK. Now our source is ready because we are using a store procedure. Now you can see in the source option we have a table, query and store procedure. So I will select the store procedure. In this store procedure, I will select my store procedure which I have created. So this is the customer sales which store procedure I have created, right? Click on the import parameter. So we have passed the parameter also in a store procedure, like end date and the start date, right? So that we will select. Now once you will select the source, right? Now what you have to do, you have to click here left side anywhere, you just click on the parameter. So we will create two parameter. One is end date, one is start date. So this is the value we will pass there. So that's why In the left side, anywhere you click on the parameter and click on the two parameter, click on the plus plus, give the p end date, p start date. This is the value we will pass into the store procedure. Now click on the copy data. This parameter, this all we call it as a parameterization, that actually we will cover in depth in upcoming video. But as of now, just to understand how actually the things works, just try to cooperate. Okay. Now for this end date, what I will do, click here, add dynamic value. The value will be the end date. For the start date, what will be the value? Click here, click on the start date. That is the thing only we have to do. So what you have to do, left side you have to click on the parameter p end date, p start date, copy data, select your store procedure, import parameter, and pass your end date and the start date here. Now let's come to the sync. We will create a data set. We are going to store into the blob storage, so I'll select that as a CSV file. So I'll select that. Link service we will create. We'll pass the subscription, we'll pass the storage account, and then we'll click on the create. Now after that you have to pass the container. So this is the particular place where I want to save output CSV. Click on the OK. Click on the OK. Now my target location is also ready. Now what I will do, I will try to create one tumbling window trigger, because we had to run the pipeline from the 1st of March to the 6th of March, right? And based on the each 24 hours. So for that I will create a tumbling window trigger. So I'll click on the add trigger, click on the new edit, give the name as a new, give the name as a tumbling window, any name you can give. Type we will select tumbling window. Now after that you have to specify the start date. So from which date you want to start your pipeline. So I want to run from the 1st of March, so I select the 1st of March, and here also timing you can select. So from 1st of March 0 0. So I selected the 1st of March 0 0. Now every 24 hours, every 24 hours, the window size should create and it should run the pipeline. It means 1st of March to the 2nd of March, 24 hours, one pipeline will run. 2nd of March to the 3rd of March, one pipeline will run. 3rd of March to the 4th of March, one pipeline will run for that particular data. 4th of March to 5th of March, that particular data will run. So like that, we have selected the 24 hours recurrence. Now end date. So till what date you want to run? So I want to run till 6th of March. So I select the 6th of March, click on the OK. Now in this particular time period, whatever the based on every 24 hour my pipeline will run. Once you will create that, and after that you just have to click on the OK. Now here end date and the start date we have to pass. So what we have to pass, so there is one parameter into the here. So this is the what we have to pass. We have to pass the output of the start time and the end time. Now we are running a pipeline from the 1st of March to the 6th of March. So 1st of March to the 2nd of March, one pipeline will run. 2nd of March to the 3rd of March, one pipeline will run. 3rd March to the 4th of March, one window pipeline will run. 4th to the 5th, one will run, and 5th to the 6th, one will run. Now based on every 24 hours. Now this from 1st of 2nd, whenever it will run, this will be the start time, this will be the end time. Now for the 2nd to the 3rd, this 2nd will become the start time and 3rd will become the end time. Now here 3rd will become the start time and end time, 4th will become the end time. So to get this all the value in the Windows interval, we have this all the two function we have to pass. Trigger dot output dot Windows start time. The output of the start time and end time it will give. So start date you pass the Windows start time, and end date you pass here this This also I will give you. You can also use the same. Output the window the end time. Click on the OK. Click on the publish all. Once you'll click on the publish, as of now I will show you the my monitor. As of now only the 5 pipeline is already available. Okay, but now once my publish will complete, my pipeline should start triggering the 6th to the 10th. Okay, so let's wait. Now publish is completed. If I will refresh, my pipeline should start triggering. You can see this is start triggered. So it start triggering for this particular time period. You can see the 5 window actually trigger, and it should copy each date data to our succeed. So let's go to the our storage account. This is the storage account. Select that. You can see the file is start available. If I show you one of the file, each date data should be available here. So you can see this is available for the 5th of March data. Here it should be available 3rd March of data. The 1st of March of data. Similarly, each file contains the each date data only. It should contain only the 3rd March of data. Next, it should contain the 4th of March data. Means each file contain the each date data. That is what actually we wanted. One is still running. It's completed. Now next date data should be available. This is available. Even you can pass the particular specific time. You can give the date into the file name itself. That also we will see in a upcoming. Okay. So that is how actually we can backfill the data based on the tumbling window trigger. I hope you got idea.